forces. Chief Advisor Dr. Muhammad Yunus today sought support from the armed forces, police and other law enforcement agencies to hold the upcoming national election in a peaceful and festive manner in the first half of February next year. Dr. Yunus made the call while addressing the Defense Service Command and Staff College Course 2025 certificate distribution ceremony at a function at the DSCSC complex in Mirpur Cantonment. At the outset of his speech, the Chief Advisor congratulated all the graduating officers and advised them to utilize the knowledge, wisdom and determination gained from the course of the progress of the nation. Hailing the DSCS as a military institution, the Chief Advisor said he feels particularly proud going there to that institute. There is no threat of unrest centering the upcoming Victory Day on December 16. Home Affairs Advisor MD Jahangir Alam Chaudhary said today. He said also that likely last year no Victory Day parade will be held this year. Speaking to journalists after a security coordination meeting at the Secretariat ahead of the Victory Day 2025, the advisor addressed concerns about the political instability following the death sentence handed to Sheikh Hasina. He said there has been no unrest after the victory, but there is no possibility of instability on Victory Day either. He added that all celebration will take place as in previous years, even on a larger scale, but the Victory Day parade will remain suspended. When asked about the incident involving a journalist picked up from home by individuals identifying themselves as DV officials, the advisor said he had no prior knowledge of the matter. RAB has arrested two more accused in the murder case of Pallavi Unit Jubadol member Secretary Gholam Kibriya. They were detained from Dhaka's Savar and Tongi areas last night, confirmed Major Muhammad Abrar Faisal Sadi, media officer of RAB 4. They are active member of the Mirpur-centric terrorist group 4-Star, said RAB 4 Commander Lieutenant Colonel MD Mahabubul Alam. During a media briefing about the arrest at the RAB Media Center in Karun Bazar today, citing initial interrogation of the arrest individuals, RAB has stated that the murder who has carried out over political rivalry and a struggle for dominance. They also said it was a premeditated killing involving a large financial transaction. The suspects are professional killers and have multiple cases filed against them in various police stations. Metro Rail users will no longer need to visit stations to recharge their permanent cards. From November 25, passengers will be able to top up their cards from home using bank credit cards, bKash, Nagad, Rocket and other online banking methods. Recharges can be done by following a link available on the Dhaka Transport Coordination Authority website. Next month, a mobile app will be launched enabling users to recharge directly through the app. Once the system is introduced, passengers will no longer have to stand in queues at stations or bank booths to recharge their permanent cards. However, single journey cards cannot be purchased online. Those will still need to be bought at stations. Renowned economist and distinguished fellow of the Center for Policy Dialogue, Devapriya Bhattacharya, today said, the government and the Election Commission must take responsibility to remove the fears among the people regarding the election. He made the remark during a pre-election regional consultation at a hotel in Barishal. He also said that there is no uncertainty about the upcoming national election, and it is gradually turning into an inevitable event. The dialogue was organized by Citizens Platform by SDGC Bangladesh to understand the expectation of citizens ahead of the upcoming 13th National Parliamentary election and to explore how these expectations could be met. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Stay with us.
At Grand Palace, Rangpur. luxury in Dhaka.
সারা দেশে লাখো মানুষের কঠোর কর্মতৎপরতা ও নিষ্ঠায় এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন 16 কোটি মানুষের হাতের নাগালে।
Welcome back. You're watching SATV News. News from abroad. US President Donald Trump insisted that Saudi Crown Prime Minister Mohammed bin Salman knew nothing about the killing of Jamal Khashoggi, despite US intelligence agencies concluding otherwise. The CIA assessment released in 2021 found that Saudi agents in Istanbul acted on bin Salman's order when they killed and disarmament Khashoggis in 2018, who had written critically of the Saudi royal family. Asked about those findings in the Oval Office on Tuesday, Trump downplayed the journalist killing, saying things happened, and claiming bin Salman knew nothing about it. His comments came as the Crown Prince began an elaborate two-day visit organized by Trump to showcase Saudi Arabia's importance to the US. A Palestinian refugee camp suffered damage on Wednesday following an Israeli strike on the southern Lebanese city on Sidon that killed 14 people and wounded several others on Tuesday. Said Lebanese Health Ministry, the Israeli military said that it struck militants who it said were operating in training compound in the crowded Ain al-Hili Palestinian refugee camp near Sidon. The military said the compound has been used by Palestinian movement Hamas to carry out attacks against Israel. Hamas condemned the strike in a later statement. The claims and allegation of the Zionist occupation army that the targeted location is a training compound belonging to the movement are pure fabrication and lies aimed at justifying its criminal aggression. Ten people were killed and around 40 wounded in a heavy overnight Russian attack that struck a residential tower block in the western Ukrainian city on Ternopil, Ukrainian officials said on Wednesday. All the 10 dead were in the western city of Ternopil. Interior Minister Ilahar Kimenko said 12 children were among the injured, he added. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed that multi-story residential building had been hit in Ternopil and said others may be trapped and under the rubble. He urged allies to increase pressure on Russia to end its nearly 4-year-old war in Ukraine, including by providing Kiev with more air defense missiles. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday met in Kremlin with Indian Foreign Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar for talks. The meeting comes a day after Jaishankar called on his counterpart Sergei Lavrov in Moscow. According to Kremlin's press service, Deputy Chief of Staff of the Presidential Administration on Maxim Oreshkin, Presidential Aide Yuri Yashevkov, Minister of Economic Development Maxim Reshenkov, and Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Andrei Rudenko also took part in the meeting. Meanwhile, in New Delhi, Putin's top aide and chairman of the Maritime Board of Russia, Nikolai Patrushev, called on Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday to discuss various issues of bilateral cooperation. Venezuelan opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado released a manifesto on Tuesday, declaring the Venezuelan stands on the threshold of a new era and demanding accountability for crimes against humanity committed under President Nicolas Maduro's government. During a video message, she announced the Freedom Manifesto filmed from an undisclosed location. Machado proclaimed that this regime's long and violent abuse of power is coming to the end, and that a new Venezuela is emerging from the ashes. The opposition leader, who has been in hiding for over a year, framed her message around fundamental human rights and made an urgent appeal for international attention to Venezuela's political prisoners.
Sino es un derecho inherente a la naturaleza misma de nuestra humanidad. Todo venezolano nace.
The United States confirmed the scale sale to Taiwan of an advanced missile system worth almost $700 million, which has been battle-tested in Ukraine. Its second weapons package in a week, bringing the total of $1 billion and reformed support for Taipei. In the Indonesia-Pacific region, only Australia and Indonesia now operate the system, three of which the United States said last year Taiwan would receive as part of a $2 billion weapon sale. The National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System Medium-Range Air Defense Solution, as they are called, are made by RTX and are a new weapon for Taiwan. Poland will respond soon over a railway explosion, the Polish foreign minister said on Wednesday. It was not only an act of sabotage but also an act of state terrorism. Poland will respond not only diplomatically. Radoslav Sikorski, lawmakers saying the response would come in the next few days. Sikorski also said that he would withdraw consent for the functioning of Russia's last operating consultant. In Poland, in response to last weekend's railway sabotage, the blast at the weekend on the Warsaw-Lublin line, which connects the Polish capital to the Ukrainian border, followed a wave of arson, sabotage and cyber attacks in Poland and other European nations since the full-scale invasion began in 2022.
Minister of Foreign Affairs, I've already taken the decision, which will be officially communicated to the Russian authorities.
The U.S. Senate on Tuesday approved legislation to force the public release of Justice Department files on the late convicted sex offenders Jeffrey Epstein, advancing the measures without a formal roll call vote. Acting by unanimous consent, senators cleared the Epstein Files Transparency Act shortly after the House Representatives passed its version of the bill in an overwhelming 427 to 1 vote. The measure is now heads off to President Donald Trump for his signature 2 days after he abruptly dropped months of resistance to the effort.
The Epstein files. A few hours ago, the House of Representatives passed their Epstein bill.
An objection. Without objection, so ordered.
The Senate has now passed.
Johannesburg is finalizing preparations to host the G20 summit, which is scheduled to take place from November 2022 to 23 at the Expo Center in Nasrec City, officials said, as South Africa works to address infrastructure challenges ahead of the arrival of world leaders. Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero, speaking to residents, emphasized the city's effort to resolve precedent urban issues. In preparations for the conference, part of Johannesburg are still grappling with drainage issues, with dirty water pooling on roads and cables strewn across the ground. Construction workers were seen drilling on some streets as part of ongoing repairs. During a press conference on Monday addressing South Africa's readiness to host the summit, the host Foreign Affairs Minister Ronald Lamola addressed the expected absence of the four heads of state from the summit, calling it a routine. Five tourists were killed in a powerful snowstorm in Chile's Torres del Paine National Park in the southern region of Patagonia, authorities said on Tuesday, adding that four more who were reported missing had been found alive. 2 Germans, 2 Mexicans and 1 British national were killed. Authorities said John Carlos Andreles, the regional director of the Snappherd, said authorities focus on the recovery of the bodies of the 5 deceased. If weather conditions allow, this could be completed tomorrow. According to the officials, the tourists became lost near the national park's Les Perros camp, reachable only by a 4 to 5 hour trek from the closest accessible point by vehicle. China said on Wednesday that it would have no choice but to take severe and resolute counterness if Japan does not retract its wrongful remarks and take concrete actions to uphold the political foundations of bilateral ties. Speaking at a regular news briefing on Wednesday, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning said Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's recent remarks about Taiwan fundamental undermines the political foundation of China-Japanese relation. On China's decision to ban all Japanese seafoods imports, Mao said even if Japanese aquatic products were exported to China, there would be no market for them, citing the anger of Chinese nationals at recent comments from the Japanese Prime Minister on Taiwan. The escalating diplomatic disputes between the two countries was ignited after Prime Minister Takaichi said this month that a Chinese attack on Taiwan threatening Japan's survival. Before ending, we'll go through the headlines again. Political parties' role greater than law enforcers in ensuring fair polls, says CEC Nasir, urges parties to uphold code of conduct. True democracy cannot be established unless nation moves away from mob violence, says Fakhrul. Democracy must be protected every day, not just on election day. Chief Advisor seeks armed forces support for peaceful polls. You are up to date with our top stories so far here on SATV. And to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with us.